Conquering England. The Battle of Hastings. By Barbara Davis. Chapter 1. Who will be king? On a cold January day in 1066, King Edward of England lay dying. The king had no son to replace him. 3 powerful men wanted to be the next king of England. One was Harold Godwinson. One was Duke William of Normandy. The last was Harald Hardrada of Norway. All 3 were famous warriors. All 3 were willing to wage bloody war to get what they wanted. A local leader, Harold Godwinson, was an Anglo-Saxon. He was one of the wealthiest men in England. He was also trusted and well-liked by the people. The Anglo-Saxons wanted Harold Godwinson to be England's next king. The people got their wish the day after King Edward's death, when Harold was crowned the new king of England. The Duke. In northern France, Duke William of Normandy was furious when he heard that Godwinson had been crowned king. Duke William claimed that King Edward had promised the throne to him years earlier. William decided to bring his Norman warriors to England and take the crown by force. A Viking warrior in Norway, Harald Hardrada, swore to win the English crown. He was the king of Norway and a fierce Viking warrior. Hardrada claimed that a previous English king had promised the throne to Hardrada's predecessor. Because of this, Hardrada believed that he had the right to be king of England. Chapter 2. Build up to battle. Duke William quickly began planning his invasion of England. He commanded all of his knights to bring fighting men and supplies. A knight was a professional warrior who owed his king military service. The knight's job was to fight for and protect the king. William also hired mercenaries for the battle. He promised wealth and land in England to everyone who would fight with him. William commanded shipbuilders to build a fleet of warships. These ships would transport his army across the English Channel. The shipbuilders began their work at the mouth of the Dives River in Normandy. Soon, hundreds of ships floated in the water. Waiting on the wind. William's fleet of ships faced England. His soldiers were ready to attack. But they had to postpone their plans. The wind was blowing in the wrong direction to allow passage to England. Finally, after weeks of waiting, the breeze shifted. Sails swelled with air. Knights, servants, and horses scrambled to get on the ships. Smaller boats, loaded with supplies, squeezed between the bigger warships. On September 27, 1066, William's fleet left the harbor. The ships carried more than 2,000 horses and about 10,000 soldiers, as well as many servants. Godwinson prepares for battle. Godwinson knew a battle was coming, and he had been preparing as well. Like William, he had men who owed him military service. This group was called the FYRD. Godwinson also had Huscarls to protect him. Vikings attack! While Godwinson focused on the upcoming battle with Duke William, Hardrada made his move. He landed in northern England with 7,000 Vikings. Hardrada and his men surprised the Anglo-Saxon soldiers guarding Yorkshire. The screaming Vikings attacked the Anglo-Saxons. The Anglo-Saxons fought bravely, but eventually, the Vikings claimed victory. Race to the north. Upon learning of the attack on Yorkshire, Godwinson led his army north. They marched 200 miles, 322 kilometers, in 4 days. Godwinson's forces surprised the Vikings at Stamford Bridge, near Yorkshire. The Vikings had been celebrating their victory for days. They barely had time to grab their weapons before the Anglo-Saxons attacked. Although the Vikings fought